It's interesting how something so small and seemingly insignificant can create such passion and interest as a baseball. My name is Dr. Joseph Davis. I grew up in Chicago in the early 50s. And Chicago is a great city, and still is a great city. But I was fortunate enough to have two baseball teams, the Chicago Cubs and the Chicago White Sox. I, like most kids at that time, you either wanted to grow up to be a fireman or a professional baseball player. I played with the Woodlawn Little League on the south side of Chicago, lived near the White Sox ballpark, and went to school near the Cubs Wrigley Field. And it seems like we were there as every possible chance we could get to be there when we weren't playing on our Little League team in Washington Park. This was particularly an interesting time because as a black youth, Jackie Robinson had just broken the color barrier just a few years before that, and a dream seemed a lot more reachable for a young black youth to venture into such a profession. When I was a youngster, about that time, my father would always send me back to visit my aunt and uncle in Washington, D.C. My uncle was a full bird colonel at the Pentagon at the time, and that was a fairly unique position also for a black person because there weren't very many of those, and that afforded him a lot of opportunity and chances to meet some significant people. Two of those people happened to be Roy Campanella and Jackie Robinson himself. And on this particular summer, when I went back, he informed me that he was going to take me to Brooklyn to see the Brooklyn Dodgers play baseball. You can imagine what excitement I had about doing that. Of course, I don't even remember who they played or what the score was or anything like that, but I can certainly remember going there and going to the professional ballpark that you hear about and read about. And then to top it off, I got a chance to go down to the locker room and actually meet the players. And Jackie Robinson took me by the hand and told me, he says, just as to commemorate this experience, I'm going to get the players and the people down in the locker room to sign this baseball, which he did. And as I look back, there were 22 people that signed this baseball, mostly players, a few managers and coaches. But I treasured that ball. I kept it on my nightstand. I kept it on my headboard throughout my youth. Took it away to college, kept it with my bookshelf. And it wasn't until I moved to Phoenix, Arizona in 1982, and by that time my baseball aspirations had actually come to a screeching reality, and I became a dentist. And one of my patients was Joe Black, one of the Brooklyn Dodgers baseball players. And when I told him that I have your signature on a baseball of mine, he couldn't believe it, and he asked me to bring it in, and I brought it and showed it to him, and he was in awe that I kept this ball for so many years and in such pristine shape. I'd put it in a little plastic globe and treasured it and made sure that people looked but didn't touch. And then he made me paranoid because he said, well, you know, this ball could have some pretty good values. You need to be careful and not just leave it around. So because of that paranoia, I went and stuck it in a safe. And so I didn't get to see my ball very often. And so I thought it was a time for me to bring it out of its hiding and get a chance for other people to see it and be exposed to the same experience and emotions that I had carried with me for so many years. This certainly is not the ball because I'd be wearing kid gloves to protect it. But this is still the significant ball, the significant signatures, and all the memories that go with it. Thank you.